Las personas en la calle nos miran, siempre nos miran. Se quedan asombrados a veces, pero a veces nos miran mal también. Pero el skate nosotros lo llevamos en la sangre, ¿sabes?
There's been skating in Cuba since the 80s, and it really started from surf culture and then some foreigners being there bringing skateboards or surfboards. Back in the day, they would only get boards from foreigners, and they'd have to try and build their own boards or things like that. One big issue is the access to resources and materials, because there are no skate shops in Cuba, so all the materials are imported from groups like Cuba Skate.
El skate significa bastante para nosotros los patinadores allá, porque allá es como si fuese una familia. Allá el que patina es porque verdaderamente le gusta, porque no gana nada con patinar, simplemente placer personal. Entonces es bastante triste depender de otra persona para hacer una cosa que te gusta, un deporte que es saludable y distrae a la población cubana, que bastante le hace falta.
Skateboarding distributes its language visually. The visual language is sitting right there in front of you. How do you know when one person's gonna go or when it's time to exit? What kinds of tricks are there? What kinds of falls are there? That form ends up being a global culture. So skating is a global culture. And these kinds of things, you know, they let you know like the power of a simple idea, you know, a piece of plywood and 4 wheels and 2 trucks, you know, this can then be a passport to the entire world. So I travel all around the world, I see skaters, you know. I go to San Francisco, you know, I see skaters. And 3-4 years ago, I was asked to make a concert out there, and I proposed that they build a ramp in the concert hall, and we did that. And then when I started working here, I said, we should bring it to the Kennedy Center. We have much more space here. We have these beautiful plazas, you know, that actually skaters aren't allowed to skate on. Why not bring them here? And so I love that tension, that all of a sudden, you know, that there are skaters that have walked up here and said, I never thought this would happen, you know, and that this is happening.
Es indescriptible el sentimiento que uno siente, porque estar tan lejos de su país y tener la oportunidad en Estados Unidos, en Washington. Yo creo que puedan hacer cambios con el deporte, con el skate. Y ojalá que después de todo esto empiecen a mirar el deporte de otra manera.
Giving a skateboard to a little kid and seeing that smile and him do a kickflip or just push and kick around the park is a really rewarding feeling. So to go back and forth all the time and bring gear, it's a challenge, but it's well worth it to see, like, you know, what it's doing for Cuban kids.
People ask, why does it work? Why is skate diplomacy an important part of public diplomacy? The reason is all these kids decide that they believe in these norms and this activity. Sure, you play basketball, sure, you're playing soccer, but there's nothing in the DNA that says that you're supposed to go out and build community. That's why skateboarding is different. It says go build community, go reimagine the world around you, and make sure that you're having fun while you're doing it. So no one tells you to do that, but the narrative of skateboarding is constantly reinforcing that that's what you need to do.
And I think skateboarding is so cool because it's not always breaking the rules, but it's figuring out a way to go around them, to find something like an inanimate object and bring it to life by grinding on it, by doing a kickflip over it. And I think that the problems between our countries could be solved with a little bit of outside of the box thinking that is just like so natural to skateboarding.
Tener la oportunidad de izar la bandera cubana es completamente un honor para mí y para cualquier cubano que hubiese estado aquí. Creo que en verdad, a pesar de las trabas que se presentan a los patinadores cubanos allá, muchos cubanos tienen talento y pueden representar a lo mejor algún día el país.
As the country starts to recognize its new relationship, you know, it's a new relationship that we develop, but I'm happy that it's developing through the culture, through the cultural arts, you know, and that skating and that jazz and music be one of those places of discourse. That's, you know, that's beautiful. Those cultural relationships will always be the markers, you know, they will always tell the story. It will leave its bit of history. It might not necessarily be in a book, but the history will be there and it will be defined and people can find it. It's accessible.